Silent of fall! Lakewood are doing it! They're gonna take it! He's gonna bring down 30. Alone with a double kill. Dropping fast. Monopoint's there. He's still alive! Wait, 2 seconds left. He's got one side. He's got a second. He's taking it out. They're all for die on 3! They're all dead!
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. It's the Summit 2 by G2A.com. We're in the America, and we are in the last 2 days of the group stages. We're going to find out which of the top 4 teams are going to be able to make it through to the playoffs, and that one step closer towards the LAN final here at the Summit House. I'm getting real excited about this one. Bringing you the English coverage, of course, of Beyond the Summit, myself, Coddle Guy. Originally, Brian K-Poptosis is on the schedule as my co-caster. He cannot make it to the first game, so my good buddy Mott has joined me the last minute, literally the last minute before the game started. Mott, are you out there? Can you hear me right now?
Hey, man, how are you?
Dude, it sounds beautiful. I can't believe this just went swimmingly. I appreciate you coming in at the last second, but I know you're a man who loves his American Dota, so I couldn't have asked for a better last-minute replacement.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, getting to see these teams, and the one thing I wasn't expecting when I came in here is to see Turn My Swag on. They've got the legend, KZZ, KZZ, however you want to call him. He'll be playing for Turn My Swag on. Now, for those of you who don't know, he's a bit of an interesting poster on NA Dota. He likes to flame people. He likes to call them idiots. But for all of his flaws, he's considered one of the top, tier NA Dota players. There was a post a long time ago where it was, talking about the up-and-coming NA Dota players. It was RTZ, I believe it was KZZ, and it was one more other person that I cannot remember talking about upcoming NA Dota players. So they had this entire interview with them. KZZ, he said, I'm not looking forward to playing Dota professionally. It's just not something that I'm interested in. So he's been standing it a lot. We've seen him play for teams like Liquid, obviously Evil Geniuses, and even Dignitas way back in the day. So I'm excited to see what he brings to the table. But Leviathan, though, their team I'm also very interested in. They're sitting at 7-2 right now. They're looking to get towards that top spot. So they don't want to go down easy here to Turn My Swag on, who really need a win to stay in it, I think.
It's easy to say that Leviathan have been the dark horses of this tournament. They have just creeped on through a team that many did not know who they were, especially many people not familiar with the America region as far as how Dota is. A lot of people just kind of getting to know a lot of these other regions for the first time because of experiences like the Summit. And they're a team that was brought in just based on how much time they invested as a team, just even working their way through the gauntlet of the lower level, the Evening Cup Series, the CVOs, the JDLs, like the Division 2s of JDLs, and they got brought in and they went all the way through the qualifier, no problem, didn't even have a scratch on their record, and they're showing tremendous talent here in the actual group stage to the point where they're very well can make it into the playoffs. I mean, a team that's sporting 7-2, they look damn good. A win here would probably easily consider a guarantee into the playoff position 3. Yeah. From there down below, it gets a bit more tricky. You have like your Turn My Swag on, who definitely have a very similar record to most. You're looking at a lot of 6-4, 5-3, 5-4. After today, we're going to have a lot of answers. After tomorrow, we will know exactly who will be our top 4 in the playoff scene. So I'm excited for that, and that will be a best of 3 and then a final of a best of 5. Anyways, let's finally go ahead and talk about the draft at hand for this one. Leviathan with their first pick. They grab a hold of Shibi's Brewmaster. They followed up with the Jakiro. On Turn My Swag on, they grab up the Faceless Void, Skywrath Mage, Pork Chops and Applesauce, Peanut Butter Jelly, whatever you want to say. It's the powerhouse combo.
Yeah, Skywrath Mage Faceless Void, no surprise. I mean, you're going to get this 9 times out of 10 if you're comfortable with it. It's just the easiest thing to run. Faceless Void just creates such a large gap in terms of team fighting, and it's so difficult to deal with. If you let him get farm, if he gets a Mask of Madness, then even to a Maelstrom, you're probably just going to die in a Chronosphere if you're a squishy hero. But they have the Jakiro and they have the Brewmaster on their side. Jakiro is just such a strong hero right now. Liquid Fire does so much damage early on to the game. Dual Breath is a great slow. You can get your Ice Path early on. You don't necessarily need it. And Macro Pyro is also just a great team fighting utility. They also have the Brewmaster, which we talked about, but they're picking that into the Skywrath Mage, or rather the Skywrath Mage was picked after the Brewmaster. Yeah. So, and with the new change to Primal Split, Brewmaster getting his ult off is a bit more difficult. Skywrath Mage should be ready to go with that Ancient Seal if he sees the Brewmaster hitting that R button. So that's the thing.
Yeah, and it's always just like arch nemesis to each other. I mean, it's always if somehow either of these heroes make it through the first banning phase, one team's going to get one and one team's going to get the other. Rarely you're going to see like the dream team thrown together of having the Brew, Skywrath, Mage in addition to a Faceless Void and maybe a Death Prophet and a Razor, you know, but moving on, this is pretty vanilla. It's pretty standard from what we expect out of the latest like meta, I guess, if that's been thrown together. Earthshaker now grabbed as the secondary support, and really there's no denying why he's picked up so early. I mean, great long-range stun, initiation factor, team fight. He gets a hold of a Blink Dagger, and he could be a game changer just like at the drop of a hat. On the side of Leviathan, they get the Wraith King now. For Leviathan, this could be universal. I have seen Shredder play a core Wraith King just as easy as I've seen them roll it as a support. Just a team that can kind of keep you guessing, you know, one of those teams that you do need to first ban Pudge against. You really just don't know what to expect from them. They're a rambunctious group that like to think outside the box and can keep you guessing, and most teams don't like to be put outside the comfort zone. So I think it's a great call to make a ban like Pudge early to make sure Jenkins doesn't get a hold of that. But Turn My Swag, they're keeping it very stagnant here. Witch Doctor, the follow-up grab. Now you got Ace. So this says now that this is probably a core Earthshaker, which is great. Yeah. But now you also have Mystic Flare and Death Ward for the Chrono. This is a serious team fight presence if a great Chrono lands.
If you get a good Chrono off, I mean, your entire team is probably just going to die, or the entire opposing team, rather. The good thing is that Wraith King is a soft Faceless Void counter. It's a soft everything counter because you die once. It's like, oh, I'm back, guys. By the way, you didn't kill me. So, I mean, I think that's the really good thing about Leviathan. On top of that, they'll have the Vampire Gore for the Brewmaster just to keep them alive a bit longer and you know, heal them up as well. But, no, this is going to be a core Earthshaker, and that's something I don't see too often. Whether they put Faceless Void in the safe lane or if he's in the off lane and Earthshaker goes mid or safe lane or something along those lines, I think it's going to be fine because this means that you're probably and KZZ is actually one of the best core Earthshakers I've actually ever seen. He was the founder of the build where you go like 1 point to Fisher, max your Enchant Totem, max your Aftershock. You do so much damage with Enchant Totem. You hit somebody, it's like getting hit by a truck. You're like, whoa, where did that come from? Holy crap. So we'll see how Turn My Swag on plays this. If it is going to be KZZ's Earthshaker, we'll see.
Yeah, legend has it KZZ has one of the most fearsome Earthshakers in the NA scene. And any other stand-in or anyone else, I don't think we would be seeing this Earthshaker grabbed in a position like it is now on the side of Turn My Swag on. But I definitely welcome it with open arms. They already know what they're expecting, more than likely in the mid lane being that Brew. But Leviathan always have the option to make a game changer here. They could pull out a secondary mid laner and throw the Brew in the side lane to try to change things up a bit. But for now, they proceed on forward. They get Nature's Prophet. This amplifies their pushing presence a little bit more. With the Jakiro having Liquid Fire already, they have nice siege power right there. So just a good balance across the board of a fair amount of lockdown, Ice Path, stun from Wraith King. Nature's Prophet's got his Sprout. He also has a little bit of that sweet global presence to kind of add initiation across the map. Very balanced draft, I'd have to say, from both teams. Very team fight oriented, though, on the side of Swag.
This is really good for Leviathan because it allows them to transition into tower kills very easily because of Jakiro and Nature's Prophet. If they get a pick up with the Nature's Prophet TP in, which, I mean, is going to be very useful, then all of a sudden transfer going to be made and you just hit a couple of liquid fires onto the tower and boom, that tower's done. So I think it's a smart choice for Leviathan. Turn My Swag on. Did they just not ban something there? They did the good old 5th no ban coming out for the Radiant squad. All right.
It looks like it. There's a no ban, and we're done with bans. That's interesting, because I was already thinking, like, Leviathan, if they do decide to put this Wraith King as a core, a possible secondary support could be a silencer here. I wouldn't mind a silencer against. Look at, like, all this dependent ults coming out and initiations on the side of Swag. Leviathan could consider a hero like that, and Swag could have considered a ban to that kind of hero. So I hope they don't regret that non-ban and something slips through that they didn't think about, or maybe it is confidence. Who knows?
I mean, picking a silencer here is like, it's a really good pick if you get level 6, but you could be abused in lane. And then you have to put Wraith King as the core, which I don't know if they want to. I guess you could put Jakiro as the core. I guess that's fine as well. But
it's funny that Swag also, sorry, I don't mean to like interject, but like they had banned Viper that late. Even I think that was even after seeing a Wraith King. I would figure Viper is like one of the ones you would just like reach for going against a Wraith King. But I guess they also don't know if it's a support or core yet. Gyrocopter though, Mott. Gyrocopter, more stuff to add to the outside of a Chronosphere. Now you have Call Down, you have the Flat Cannon spread. This is crazy. This is crazy AoE coming out right now from Turn My Swag On. This could be a beautiful symphony of a team fight if they can do it.
I mean, the more I think about it, I guess if you pick a silencer here, it would be huge, but you have to get the global off. You have to be outside of the chronosphere. If you're inside the chronosphere, you've lost. You're just
just like good luck. Good luck to you. The death ball.
I mean, so yeah, exactly. I mean, like you mentioned it. There's a shit ton of stuff to go inside this chronosphere, and they have to find a way to deal with that. And I don't know really what you pick here. An Nature's Prophet probably won't show up and get chronoed. If he does, then that's kind of an issue. Wraith King again has a second life, but for Jakiro and Brewmaster, this could be a problem. However, Brewmaster is pretty good against Faceless Void. They go for the Vengeful Spirit.
Okay.
They want the swap out.
Yeah.
So they're dealing with one of the aspects of the Chronosphere, which is the Faceless Void himself. And it is going to be KZZ on the Earthshaker. Now, this is probably going to be a mid-Earthshaker coming out. Safe lane Gyro with the Skywrath Mage, Witch Doctor supporting, and the Faceless Void in the off lane played by I Annihilate. That's what I'm thinking. That makes the most sense to me.
I'm behind you 100% on that as well. I Annihilate, Faceless Void, off lane for sure. KZZ, what we have to expect the mid lane Earthshaker from him, and the other three more than likely going to go in a safe lane position, unless they try to flip it into an aggro for some reason or other. But more than likely in the safe lane. Leviathan, it is indeed going to be Shredder playing the Wraith King. It's a core Wraith King because of that support grab at the end, Vengeful Spirit. They're going to rely on that swap to be there to aid and about if anyone does get caught out. But the benefit to them is that Wraith King is fantastic against a Chronosphere. You know, he's happy to take the big punishment from your Mystic Flare and Death Ward and be able to fight back with a second life. He's found his farm and he's carried a team with a Wraith King before. And they have pushing power there. You got your Jakiro support with the Liquid Fire and Nature's Prophet, who can add a lot globally. Both teams, I think, put together a pretty solid draft. Swag execution seems to be the utmost importance of what they've thrown together, though. If things do slip up, they can be pretty ult-dependent. So we'll have to see how the late game could form from them on the back of a gyrocopter in contention to this Wraith King. So after that very wordy mouthing of a monologue to open this one up, we are underway. We have 4 America games for you today, 4 best of ones for this lead-in one. It's going to be myself and Mott bringing you the action here for the Summit to America, and I'll go ahead and lead things off with your introductions. On your swag side, and the Radiant, it's Turn My Swag on I Annihilate, playing your Faceless Void in the off lane. Mid lane, KZZ, your stand-in, going to be playing one of his signatures, the mid-core Earthshaker. Bottom, it's Mr. Barcode, or Barcode Man we like to call him, playing your Gyrocopter. F4L, good friend, good co-caster, currently walking away from potential first blood, is going to be playing his support Witch Doctor, and of course that will leave Sleesel playing the Skywrath Mage.
Yeah, so early smoke coming out from Leviathan. They get a couple of wards out here. They'll place this nicely placed Observer ward coming in just to make sure it blocks the camp. The pole camp will not be available. This is one of the most annoying wards to deal with. It's really tough to counter, so I like the fact that they got in and they put it down. For Leviathan, your dire team, we've got Jenkins Dota with the tag, "Tweet me, please, I'm lonely," on the Nature's Prophet.
I really
please
hope someone
tweet the
did.
man.
I hope someone did.
You know, this guy, he needs some love. And meanwhile, mid lane, it is going to be Shibby playing your Brewmaster, or at Shibby Dota, if you will. Top lane, Sunken playing your Vengeful Spirit. Shredder on your Wraith King, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles villain. And Nushem Dota will be playing your Jakiro to round it all out. So.
I like that. I like that shout right there at the end. Zayori not knowing his Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's okay to call him out
Seriously.
on the mod. I mean,
yeah, seriously.
Where have you been all your life? You know, I'm a big TMNT kind of guy. I'm down with it, so we'll see, though. Super Shredder, he never really got off to anything there in the second one, so we'll see if in this case Wraith King will amount to something, unlike the Shredder enemy. Anyways.
KZZ's going to get ganked.
Yeah, he's right from behind. Sunken throws out a nice early magic missile. They're trying to punish this Earthshaker early, and they will. Immediate first blood before even the 1 minute mark here to Shibby on his brew. Ooh, that's scary. He's going to have a nice propelling start.
Yeah, that helps a lot.
They're also making it go on.
Coming out?
Oh, man, oh, man.
They're having a rough time.
Yeah, they are harassing real hard here in the mid lane. And even top lane, they put out a lot of offense here onto I Annihilate, forcing him to pull out the salve early. Now, he does have 8 tangos to fall back on, but they are letting him know that they are the ones who rolled this lane. Early dual breath coming out as well. Just everything they can to make sure Faceless Void is staying back and using that regen early. For Leviathan and their offlaner on the opposite side, still no CS for him, but he can just do this. I'm just going to go to the jungle. I have a jungle to fall back on, no prob, Bob. But of course, this will leave their gyrocopter to farm up pretty free.
Yeah, this is, I mean, that's the trade-off, but at the same time, you're getting more out of the opposing offlane. Like, I Annihilate, like you talked about. In fact, he does pick up the value point and backtrack, and I wanted to make a point of this. Like, because there's Liquid Fire, because there's Dual Breath, there's a good chance he's going to take a lot of damage, so he wants to avoid as much of that as possible. Luckily, he has a poor mage shield, like you mentioned, 6 tangos, so that's good. Mid lane, the matchup here is very interesting. Although KZZ has 7 last hits, he's tied. The first blood did go the way of Shibby. He has to get a bottle early on, and the clap is going to continue to come, and unless KZZ can get his enchant off on Shibby multiple times, he's going to have a rough start. He will pick up his bottle, though, so not that far behind, but KZZ looking to get maybe treads into that Blink Dagger. We'll see what the Earthshaker build is for him, the pioneer of the build.
And for Shibby, he's going to get in a sweet regen rune here at the top lane that was very nicely guarded from Sunken. On the opposite rune, it was a bounty, which was snagged up from FRL's Witch Doctor. He's currently still working with the pull camps right now, trying to get that sweet, delicious Creequilibrium under the tower. So this Gyrocopter has plenty of early farm to work with in the lane. Still no contention from him. Furion immediately opted out. Doesn't want to risk handing over any unnecessary feeds, and we'll just look for a reliable farm elsewhere. Jungle's free, because why not? Now Sunken's going to pull back in this top lane to bring it back, as they are doing a little bit of early harassment on this tier 1 tower. Any sort of liquid fire, even at level 1, you can get off early, is just that much closer to getting that reliable gold on the map.
They're getting a lot of pressure here on Annihilate, but he's still getting plenty of farms. So it's a really, I think good start for him, honestly, all things considered. They can't really bring him down unless they do Wraithfire Blast into a magic missile, but they have to find that before he time walks away, and it's very difficult to secure a kill on him unless he gets caught out of position. So I think he should get plenty of levels here and plenty of, oh, hold on. Might die. Yeah, he can't time walk out, but they don't have Sunken. He can just time walk now.
There he goes.
So,
man, scary stuff. Can't cross past that river mark. That's when you know you're going to get jumped and get punished quite a bit. He's down now to 3 tangos, but he is holding his own as far as CS. He's 7-2. Which is not too shabby for your offlane Void at this point in the game. No. He's soaking up some XP right there from the side camp, gets himself to level 4. As long as he's not handing any unnecessary deaths over to kind of help things out even further for this Wraith King, he should be doing fine. Wraith King, I imagine he's going to blitz right for a Midas. Shredder typically likes to go a bit greedy, I would feel, with this Wraith King, and wants to try to get online sooner than later.
I mean, they need to get a Midas from, otherwise this Gyrocopter is going to start out farming him with Flat Cannon here.
Yeah.
And Gyro might even be going for Midas as well. Look at how much money he has in the bank, so I want to see what High Lua picks up here in this bottom lane. It's very important. They will grab a DD rune here for a KZZ.
Radiant's top tower
Lua.
is
I
under
knew it was
attack.
something with the L.
Radiant structure
So the barcode boy. Lua. Okay, great.
Dyer's bottom
Thank you for letting me know
is
that.
under attack.
Got you.
Moving up here, bottom lane. Casters go out there looking to clear the wave immediately so they can at least go for a trade if possible, which might be the case as top lane. Nature's Prophet getting involved in some liquid fires. This tower is going to fall quickly. Can Shredder get the last hit? He cannot. It's going to go to Vengeful on the bottom. They got the tower to half-life. Still have a long way to go, and the glyph is already going to be used. And we're going to see a rotation for defense here possibly from Leviathan. It's not looking like it. They're still parked here in the top lane. And that will allow Swag to just continue slowly withering it down. Sleesel is even waiting behind just to be safe. So no rotations whatsoever. There is one. It's Sunken, but he's too late to try to get a deny off on his structure. Not going to happen there. And they're still pushing top lane, though, Mont. Nushim and Shredder, side by side, is going to start doing some damage on tier 2 now.
I mean, just liquid fire. Whenever it's up, just put pressure on the tower. I mean, it's just free damage, essentially, as long as you're not taking too many tower hits. And he's diving. Get the aggro control. Come on, Nushim. Look out, buddy.
I guess they're not worried. KZZ's not looking to rotate. He still needs more time before he can put together an amount of ammunition to kind of prevent any big push there. And they see what's happening bottom lane, and they know Gyro's not going to look to get involved. I mean, does he have a TP on hand? He does, but they would obviously make the call out at that point. But seems like they're just going to go for objective gaming and a bit of farm here and there. We see the early tussle first blood, but ever since then, it's been relatively quiet on the western front. Yeah,
but look how much CS this Gyrocopter has gotten up to. He's gotten up to 38. I mean, that's the real problem. I mean, you saw that pressure top, and they got the tier 1 tower. That's great and everything, but Shredder had to back up, get his treads. They were taking, they were just trying to push the wave and making sure that, okay, we don't care who gets the CS, we just want to push the tower. Meanwhile, KZZ is starting to clear the way. He does pop the double damage rune. TP down bottom for the bounty rune. F4L is here, so there's also this observer ward, but it is going to run away. So KZZ now is going to bottle up this bounty. Now, the question is, he has his max Aftershock. Maybe he starts getting involved at level 8 with his second point in Enchant Totem. I'm interested to see when he starts fighting. Maybe when he gets treads or his next set of boots, whatever it may be.
I would figure if he's going more core, it would be treads. I mean, there's been a long debate. Actually, there's going to be a tussle here mid lane. The split does come out. It's KZZ now under pressure. Sleesel does show up, gets the fissure off, takes down one bear, and it looks like Shibby wants to keep moving for this one. Actually, he changes his target for Sleesel, but the other rotation comes. Did he overstay his welcome now? There's an ice path, though, coming in very nicely from Nushim. Does catch Sleesel. Sleesel still juking and jiving through the trees. Oh, the Echo Slam. Unfortunately, it goes off, but not enough damage. But the Fissure does lock Shibby there. He's body blocking him, holding him there. There's the Sprout, however. More help is on the way. And now it looks like KZZ going to look to retreat. He's getting no same reinforcements towards this mid lane. A long walking Annihilate's making the rotation over, but everyone else is being caught up. Bottom lane now, Sunken getting pressured. They know that she might be alone as a lot have committed to the mid lane. F4L, though, eating a lot of damage here, even trying to heal it up. Sunken still gets the kill on F4L. Does end up going down in the end. It's a support for a support, and Skywrath Mage gets that kill. Bit of a hot mess between both the lanes. Leviathan, I feel, though, do come out on top. They take down that mid lane. They get the kill there for Chibi. And now they're looking for the tier 1 tower.
Or they're going to Chronosphere. KZZ's going to come in. He has a chant. No, he just walks into the Chronosphere. Look out, buddy. Fisher comes in. Jenkins going to get hit up. He's done. There's going to be the cats going in. 4L is in some trouble as well. Nushem is looking for an Ice Myth. He'll find it. Chibi. Ancient Seal. He didn't have split anyways. He's done. Great defense coming out from Turn My Swag On.
Yeah.
And Nushem might die. Do they have time walk in 2 seconds? I think Nushem is dead. Oh, they blocked
back.
KZZ.
Missiles there. Nushim, Ice Path. Annihilate, though, has the leap now. Leaps forward. Smack. Dragon goes down. Now Sunken might be pressured a bit. KZZ thinking about making the go. 3 more seconds till the Fissure's there. Can use it now. F4L, though, stunned. There will be the Fissure to stop Sunken from pursuing. And now Swag immediately come back after that bit of a tussle there in the mid lane, though this is all, of course, without their Wraith King, who had been farming up this top lane. And now is at his level 6. He does go right for the ultimate on that level. And, well, at the same time, Gyrocopter also not getting involved. Both cores still finding plenty of farm. I think Gyrocopter's still getting a little bit out of the most of this. He's at 4,100 net worth right now to Wraith King's 3,300.
Yeah, the difference might be the towers that fall in a couple of moments here for Turn My Swag. And if they lose a couple of these towers, then Gyrocopter might be a bit behind. He's going to be going for the longer con, if you will, the long-term game plan. He picks up the more mask, so it looks like he'll go for the Helm of the Dominator. Yep. That's going to help him take, creep camps.
There's already one stack happening right now on the Ancient stack, so team working together. Very nicely done. The supports are looking out for their cores, getting supplies ready. And the top tower, look at that. It's going to get denied from Annihilate. No Leviathan near. He just allows the tower to get low enough to deny range, and they take that bit of gold away from Leviathan and their core Wraith King.
That's going to be Treads as well for the Faceless Void. So offlane Faceless Void's having a pretty good time. He's actually ahead of net worth, ahead of the Nature's Prophet right now. So it's very interesting. He will pick up his first Null Talisman for the Nature's Prophet. So I mean, he's getting some damage right now. He's still lacking in terms of his effectiveness. But if they can take some towers down and get some more experience and gold going their way, they should be in a good spot. But I think Turn My Swag On have done a nice job of defending these towers. And look at KZZ. He's very close to his Blink Dagger. Once he gets that, then all of a sudden, this game just is wide open. But Chibi already has his Blink Dagger. Chrono on it too, though. Can they kill anybody? I don't know.
They're jumping forward. He doesn't really have the damage follow-up to do a whole lot. In fact, Nushim barely takes much damage as it is. I Annihilate now on the retreat. Duel. The swap back even. They're working for this one, and it's Bruise trying to take and zone everyone else away from this Annihilate. Precious prey that they want to finish off. They Cyclone him up. Can he get away from this one? Trying to move up and above. No mana. Will get burnt down. Very nice lay of the Macro Pyre right there to help secure the kill. It is going to be Jenkins who picks it up on his Nature's Prophet. And now the Tier 1, with the help of the Treants, is going to be sieged and taken down here. Another tower grab right there for Leviathan. A kill on the Faceless Void, plus a tower. Big money.
I didn't even notice they got the Tier 2 top as well. So while that was all happening...
Yeah, it was denied previously from Faceless Void. So they didn't get the full gold from it, but still a little bit.
Yeah, but I mean, at the very least, like you said, just a little bit of gold. And plus, they get a kill on Annihilate, who, I don't know, he was alone when he jumped in. Like, he saw a good Chronosphere opportunity. He's like, oh, wait, I actually just don't have any support. You saw KZ, he's like, yeah, I'm not going to fish for that. You're on your own there, buddy, so...
Yeah, Sleesel was kind of there, but maybe he wasn't level 6 at the time. He's level 6 now. It's a fresh level 6, but I didn't see the Mystic Flare follow-up. There might have been a bit of miscommunication there. Maybe he didn't have the mana. I didn't quite get the chance to see what the backstab was. Jump forward, Echo, immediately, Mystic Flare combo. Beautiful work coming out from Swag as they easily burst down both Chibi and Sunken. Chibi didn't have a split regardless, but it didn't even matter. It was just a slaughter.
That was just like watching a train wreck, man, because I knew it was coming. I saw the blink come out for KZ. He enchanted and smoked right as he TP'd in. And then they just jumped down to 2 heroes. Like, oh, guess what? You guys are both dead. So it just killed them immediately. Oh, that was so cool. KZZ comes in. He gets a couple of kills. Gets up to level 9. He's 2-1-3 now. 500 gold in the bank, but this also leaves so much room.
Shredder's going for Radiance. That's exactly what he did last time. He is not going for Midas. He's got treads already, and he's going straight for the Radiance.
Does that persist through reincarnation? I feel like it shouldn't, but it might.
We'll know soon enough, but yeah, he did that last time. I was a bit skeptical of it the last time he grabbed it because you're investing a lot and a little bit of extra damage and, you know, some additional Radiance burn, of course. The earlier you get it, definitely the better you can make out of it, but he's on pace for it right now, and to be honest with you, it's not bad timing. I mean, he's got the Relic well underway. He could have this Radiance together by, what, 15 minutes? Be good to go.
He wouldn't have that. Well, KZZ, I think he might be dead. Shan comes in.
Oh,
Call down's gonna go. Do they have the split? They do have it.
Can he get it up? Oh, he's trying to get it up, and he gets chronoed right after. Oh, Sunken goes down. Shibby will go down. It's going to be Barcode Boy. Luo who gets the double kill for himself, and they might get another one out of it. They do. KZZ, killing spree for him as they take down 3 Leviathan all day for nothing.
That was just, he tried to get that primal split off, and he would have gotten it off too, I think, had the change not had happened in the previous patch. But KZZ staying alive, the swap even came in, and I got to say that was a really good Chronosphere. That saved his teammate's life. And now, despite being down in terms of towers, they're ahead in terms of net worth by 1,000. And experience is the biggest thing. 5,000 experience lead coming their way. You talked about the ratings coming out for Shredder, and that wouldn't be such a good timing had they not gotten those towers, Tier 1, Tier 2 top, and the Tier 1 mid. But they need more. He's very close to his relic, so yeah, you talked about it, 15 minutes, that's what it looks like. Bottom lane, though, they jump at F4L. I think this is a dead F4L.
Ice Path, stun. He's dead for sure. F4L trying to find a bit of solo time. He is blitzing for as many levels as early on as possible, and he's trying to get his Agnums together. They're putting more onto Sleesel and his Skywrath Mage to be the selfless support, to get the wards and kind of keep vision on the map, and they're allowing space and a little bit of extra farm time for F4L to try to get a big Death Ward out there, which is good, but he does get caught out in that bottom lane, and now Leviathan, who want more of those towers for that investment towards the Radiance, are opening up on this bottom Tier 1 tower. Sleesel's nearby, smoked up and ready to go. KZZ here as well with the Blink and with an Echo ready. There's 3 on the way up. Can they catch up, jump forward? They do isolate Jenkins there with a fissure, but Ice Path on the bring back is going to force KZZ to step away. Sunken is going to be silenced, steps back, Wave of Terror. Nushim, however, might not be so lucky. Stunned with Homing Missile, and there's your Mystic Flare. Still alive, but will be brought down. Echo there on the back end of it, plus the Death Ward drop. Looking to clear house here in Leviathan. F4L now under pressure. Shibby with the Primal Split. Moving on forward, trying to clean out the support, but he is hard to take down because of that heal. Now, Gyrocopter moving to the side trap to get away. The Rock does catch him. They move on. They'll be able to take him down, and it's going to be a double kill for Jenkins at the end of that one. Leviathan come out big for their Nature's Prophet. Still doing this. Not a lot coming out from this Wraith King, who does get his Sacred Relic. He gets involved in that fight now, which they desperately needed. But, man, oh, man. These two teams, they're tussling at it, showing that they're relatively even, I have to say, as far as the skills look so far.
It's a slugfest, man. And if they could somehow shut down that Brewmaster, make sure his ultimate gets off, that fight goes drastically different. But regardless, Shredder does get involved, and as soon as they saw that big bad Wraith King coming in, they're like, all right, time to get out, let's go. And they still lose Hylua in the process of doing so. KZC is going for a 4-step. He really wants mobility, and I think this is a great choice. Top lane, Annihilate was not there in that bottom fight with Chronosphere. He was trying to pressure top, and they might actually get a kill here on Nushim.
Yeah, this could be an easy Chrono Mystic Flare. I mean, I don't even have to do the play-by-play mod. I could just let it happen at that point. It's just kind of textbook, as they just get the sweet pick-off right there in Jakiro in the top lane with their Wombo combo.
Yeah, but was it worth it is the question. You get, I guess the Jakiro, that's fine. You get a secured kill out of it. I would like them to get the tower, but it's going to be tough. They're starting to put together a strong defense here. They've got Sunken as well as Shibby nearby. Though Shibby doesn't have split, they will, if they want, Shredder can come up there and defend. He'll have his ratings by the time he gets up there, and then all of a sudden, that's the timing you're afraid of. When you get like a 60-minute ratings, ooh, God.
Now, they see each other. Shredder does have his Reincarnate at level 2. He's going to get chased down here, and there's no Tier 1 for any of his allies at TP2. He steps back, throws out the stun. He will, of course, eat that Homing Missile. Gyrocopter will not pursue. They ping out. They see that Shibby does grab the Invisibility Rune, and they know that they don't want to get involved with anything. Now, Shibby's scouting them out with that rune. Oh, they might be able to pincer off KZZ, but he has a haste rune he'd been holding and is now using to get the retreat out. So there'll be no opportunity for Leviathan to get a grab right there, and Swag will not be able to make a move on Wraith King.
Yeah, but all of a sudden, Leviathan have taken over this bottom jungle, meaning that this gyrocopter can't farm as effectively as he wants to. So he can't get up towards his BKB, although he is very close. He's just a couple hundred gold away from having the recipe. I know it's making some room top, so he'll look to just get some more farm and maybe try to get a solo pick off on Sunken. But there's the ratings done at 17 minutes, so I mean, this is not only the ratings burn, but some extra damage for Wraith King as well. I'm kind of nervous for Swag and how this is going to work out because you don't often see this build.
Yeah, this is when it needs to make its biggest impact as well. You get it nice and fresh this early and ripe into the game. That's when it's going to be doing its most significant damage. And then you build on top of that the farm you hopefully got from beating the hell out of your opponents, or at least building in some extra bit of farm with its burn. So we'll see if Shredder can make the best out of this top lane, though. They make the jump onto Sunken, and there's your other combo factor coming out from Swag, just kind of executing everything they have in their arsenal. First, the Chrono Mystic Flare. Now, the Chrono Death Ward. In just proper formation, they take down another support in that top lane. But look at this. They might be on pursuit here. Annihilate still hanging around enemy territory. They know he's there because, well, he's fighting their creeps. But they're not going to look to make the jump on him.
They're kind of nervous right now. They don't know who's behind him, but he's actually just going to get some free farm and just get out of there. So the question is now, do you go for BKB? Do you go for Maelstrom? I think he needs some extra damage, but survivability wouldn't be bad either. He's going to go ahead and try to take the same stack or stack. I don't know what he's doing. He can't take this alone.
He's trying to make it work. I figured they were going to reserve that for Gyro, but I guess he needs a bit of the farm priority for his next item investment, whatever it may be. It could be a BKB. I mean, he could be under huge harassment from a Jakiro if he's trying to make a fight happen and he gets caught out with an Ice Path and he's already in the midst of a Macro Pyre. On top of that, I guess maybe anything that Nature's Prophet brings out after this Blade Mail, whether it be an Orchid or some sort of Sheep Stick, and you can't really stop swap. So I don't know if a BKB might be something he looks to go for. It could just be the standard Maelstrom grab.
Maelstrom. I think it's probably Maelstrom.
More damage the merrier, I always say. So I'll head back to mid lane, and we're going to see a relatively quiet period of both teams looking to really farm it out. I guess the safest way to go, ideally, would you could wait till Shredder gets his level 16 and level 3 ult, but that's not the case. Look at this. They're smoking up. They're creeping on into the Roche Pit. They're looking to go for a behind-the-back play. They smoke very nicely as a unit, but immediately a ping flies out there from Annihilate. They possibly could know this is happening.
I don't think they can get there in time. Wave of Tear plus the right click from Shredder.
There's
double damage run on Chibi. This Roshan dies.
By the time they formulate a smoke, it's already done. And now they're like, well, too late, and they might actually pull back here. Swag will scout from the high ground, however, to see if maybe anyone straggles behind, but that's not going to be the case. Leviathan just execute a nice, perfect behind-the-back Roche play and resume farm.
I'll say it's so hard to call for a back once you've smoked up. You've already used the item. You feel like you want to get something done with it. But when you see that Roshan has gone down, you have to just say, no, we can't do anything about it now. They've gotten the Aegis, and we just have to sit back and farm. So they will actually spot out Shredder. He just walks up and kills the creep. The creep that was actually stacked in the Ancients. He just wanted to scout that out real quick. And now maybe some reinforcements are going to come through and see what they can get done here.
And Shredder's still dancing in enemy territory here. Well up and ahead. You got your Jakiro using that Invis Root to try to scout things out a little bit better as far as what's happening here in the top lane. And KZZ hanging mid. But overall, most of Swag just kind of close enough in case something breaks out. But top lane, F4L going pretty far past his leash here. Commits the stun. This is going to be an easy grab if they want it, and they could. Nature's Prophet comes in, stun, magic missile, and it's another case of F4L trying to make some side fart happen. He's getting very anxious to try to finish out his Agnum Scepter. It looks like he did make a purchase before he went down. He actually did finish his Agnums. So he has his Agnums complete, though he will hand over his life for it.
This is, it's getting to the point now where your Witch Doctor is becoming an ancient apparition, and you buy very little in terms of support items, and you just run for an Agnum, just because without it almost feels, it doesn't necessarily feel like you're useless, but it provides you so much extra damage, and there's nothing you can do to stop it aside from getting a Ghost Scepter. So I think that this is a really smart choice for F4L. He did finish it off, so he's perfectly okay with that death. Obviously, you'd rather not give it away, but Now, on top of a Chronosphere, you know, and all the other stuff that goes with it, you have to deal with an Aghanim Scepter ultimate.
Yes.
And it's level 2 as well. This is frightening. This is like getting that Radiance up in the Wraith King. It's exactly that sort of tear that you have to deal with.
Sleesel's alone top lane. Maybe if he can throw together a level 11, he can get his level 2 ultimate ready to go to make that much bigger of an impact. So we'll have to see. Leviathan, what's the game plan for them to prevent some heavy damage from that? Is it getting a hold of BKB on your Wraith King or on the most of your cores so you don't take that much extra damage? Does your VS have to prioritize what the proper swap target is, whether it's saving your core from the Chrono or maybe going for the swap on your Witch Doctor to prevent him from getting a big death ward off? We'll have to see what Leviathan bank on right here. Still, though, Vengeful, trying to get level 11. Once you get level 2 swap, things become a little bit easier. Level 1, it's just too intimate, but now he gets level 2, and you can see right there that the AoE definitely helps a bit more.
It's damned if you do, damned if you don't. I mean, if you swap the Witch Doctor, you still have to deal with the Faceless Void. Split mid, no, Ancient Seal comes out. Shibi doesn't get it done, but they're getting the kill on Sleezel. No, the Fisherman Sleezel should still fall, I think.
Oh, yeah, Shibi's so quick. He just walks him down with that haste rune. No problem, smacks him on the backhand side, and he's down. Shredder, though, moving forward, they want to make something happen. They still have an Aegis on Shibi for just under 2 more minutes to use, so they'll walk away at least with a tier 2. This mid lane, if that's what they're going for. A fight here from Swag, if they're not ready for it, could be pretty devastating.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure if Leviathan win this game, I'm almost positive they secure a spot for themselves in the Summit playoffs here. So this is going to have to be a big defense for Swag. And now this is Leviathan's timing. This is when they want to be the most effective. Shibi's going to fall off soon. Shredder, I mean, yes, he will have level 3 ult. I mean, he'll be tough to take down, but eventually you're going to start dishing out damage with this Gyrocopter. He already has his BKB. The Faceless Void has his BKB, so he did go for that defensive item. But once they start building damage, Leviathan are going to start really falling off in terms of what they can get done compared to these heroes that are on Turn My Swag.
It's pressure for Leviathan. They have to have good positioning in these team fights. If Swag move forward, they catch a huge Chrono. It could be an immediate team wipe with some good damage coming out from that flat cannon. And of course, Tweedledee and Tweedledum being your Skywrath Mage and Witch Doctor. Anything can happen. So they need to make sure that they don't get caught clumped together and well spread. And for Swag, they need to wait for the right opportunity. So when they are clumped together, they can capitalize on it. So still could be anyone's game. Jump up, force forward. They go for the Echo immediately on Jenkins. And it's a solo kill. Beautifully done from KZZ on that Earthshaker, showing what he could do on that roll.
Yeah, and Leviathan are still pressuring bottom, but I mean, they realize that Echo Slam is down now, but there's still plenty of team fight ready to go for Turn My Swag on. And on top of that, KZZ got a mega kill streak as well. He was up to 1,000 gold. I think he bought something and is flying out. He's actually getting treads. They're going to jump in. There's going to be a Chronosphere Sunken getting brought down. There's the Mystic Flare. Shibi in some trouble. Will he fall? Still Ancient sealed up. Why is Annihilate not going at Shibi? Oh, he doesn't have the Aegis. That's why. Sunken getting brought low. He'll fall. And they will get the Reincarnation up as well. There's the Aegis. They've gotten so much done. What else can they do, though, is the question. They
jump back in. I Annihilate, though, with the Chrono already down. Shibi back fresh and anew with the sprint ready to go. He moves forward. Sleesel's down. Now they Cyclone up. I Annihilate. Can he get away from this beautifully synchronized with your Ice Path Macrofire? He does manage to leap out, however, and makes it into the basin away. What a slippery escape coming out from your Faceless Void, but Leviathan, they're not done. They press forward, and then they quickly run back just as fast to finish off that Tier 2 tower, getting a bit overzealous there. They'll put their eyes back on the prize, which is getting a hold of this objective right now, but man, oh man, Shredder here's the TP. He had blinked behind to get a hold of FRL, but now I Annihilate immediately back. Still no Chrono. Almost gets bursted down immediately. Shredder now, very, very low. No Reincarnate for him. He needs to think about getting back, and he will. He blinks on out. Nushin pulls out the TP. Everyone calls the retreat horn from Leviathan. They got their Tier 2. They got a pretty good fight on their side, and they're happy to walk away with that. For Swagman, I think you called it perfectly. You know, KZZ got a fantastic kill there in the top lane, doing solo work, but because Echo was down, it was Leviathan's time to just move in bottom with an Aegis.
Yeah, but at the same time, that was still a fantastic fight for Turn My Swagon. And I think if you look at this game, and if Swagon if they turn this around, I think that's going to be the team fight that did it for them, because they were able to defend against an Aegis. They were able to defend. Although they lost the 2-2 tower, but against the Aegis, against the Reincarnation, against the Primal Split, they really didn't lose much there. They didn't have Echo Slam. I mean, that's with a lot of their abilities gone. And they still did all right in that team fight. I don't think they forced a buyback on anybody. In fact, nobody bought back that entire team fight. No. They're just going to try to, keep farming, pressuring these towers, though.
Yeah. And imagine if Swag had the benefit from really using that Death Ward in the previous fight. At least it didn't look like it. It looked like F4L got taken down immediately.
He couldn't get it off. No.
So imagine if they do manage to put it together and get it off right there. So could be even more devastating. For now, though, they're finally looking to take down this Tier 1 mid. That's just their second tower takedown of the game. So there's still plenty of gold on the map there for Swag to bring in as they look to persist down this mid lane a little bit further. Maybe feeling like Shredder wants to farm out up and knows that his reincarnate might still be on cooldown and don't want to risk, you know, making a fight happen until it's up. So Swagger like, that's no problem. We'll move forward. Now we might even get a Tier 2 here. F4L providing the sustain. Jenkins trying to make them second guess with a fake out TP, but they're not pulling back yet, and they're going to just go for it right to the end. 2 back-to-back towers, but here we go. There's the TP coming on out. It is going to be Shredder. His Majesty has graced us with the battlefield presence. Annihilate gets blown the hell up, and now they turn their sights on Gyro. Force forward, but swap back is going to be KZZ, who gets a great Echo setup. Not enough to finish off Shredder, unfortunately. It's enough, though, for Gyro to make his escape on the way out. Shibby can't get a hold of him there, so I don't know if it was intentional to get the swap on Gyro or on KZZ, but without getting Gyro, he gets away.
Now they're down for 38 seconds. There is the buyback up on Annihilate, and he will have Chronosphere. They want to force up this buyback, though, first and foremost. There are no Tier 2 towers to take. That's the unfortunate thing for Swag. They're only down about 3,000 to 4,000 in gold. Now it's actually 5,000. All of that is from towers, really, in that last fight as well. So now you've got to find a way for Swag to be able to defend this. There's no glyph. They use it for the Tier 2 down bottom. They're going to jump in, and now Shibby, or rather Lua, in some trouble. Shredder goes to work, but he does have his reincarnate. Buyback coming in. That'll actually be from KZZ. They don't want to buyback. Sunken gets Mystic cleared up. Now bring him down. Tier 3 tower taken. Definitely worth it, though.
Yeah, Leviathan immediately pull out. Unfortunately, Sunken does get left behind. They do grab that Tier 3 tower very nicely. Shredder just kind of bank on the RNG. He loves to jump forward, get a few right clicks in. If he gets like back-to-back crits, that's pretty much death. I mean, he's doing about 600 plus damage per crit right now. And now, he didn't have it in that previous fight, but he has a brand shiny new BKB. Full 10 seconds to work with here on your Wraith King. Gets a bit scary there. We'll see if he always opts to reserve that BKB for his secondary life, which level 16 now as well. Every 60 seconds he'll have that second life. That's pretty much every engagement, so His Majesty, you're going to have to make him take a knee, not once but twice at this point. Gyrocopter, the one to kind of be the resilient, though, on the way towards a butterfly now. That's going to force Wraith King to try to pick up an MKB, otherwise he's not going to be doing any decent right-click to this Gyrocopter.
Yeah, the Gyrocopter now is being a force.
Has been killed.
That's
Ooh,
just a
wow.
Jenkins.
Jenkins inside the base. Takes in a Kurgo worth of only 550, but top lane now, Ice Blast, or Ice Path rather, does land. Shredder might be caught out. His first life is going to be used. He still has the BKB, but he uses the Blink instead to get out. But Annihilate immediately time walks over and starts right-clicking him. Oh, the Ancient Seal's there. He didn't get his BKB off. He could go down. He's under huge pressure here in the midst of the fray. But so's Gyro. Shibby trying to right-click it home and will be able to take it down. Now Shredder puts his sight on FRL, and he also falls. Leviathan come out huge here. The DD on Shibby, man, brings in huge right-click damage, and now they come down from the north. And this gets a bit scary if you're a Swag fan. Gyrocopter down. He still has a buyback available and at the ready. They're going to go knocking at the high ground door, though.
Yeah, I think that was about the worst fight that you could have for Turn My Swag on. They couldn't get the Chronosphere off. The Death Ward did nothing because of the Blink immediately coming out from the Wraith King. So I would be very surprised to see them hold this high ground defense coming out for Turn My Swag on. This is going to be a tough one. As you see, they jump on Sleazel already.
Blink forward from both Shredder and Shibby, but Big Echo does send Shredder to the grave. And they take him down. They do manage to quickly take apart Skywrath Mage. It's Shibby, however, who shows that I have just as much right-click available as our Wraith King. Don't underestimate that. Now it makes big work on the Tier 3, but this has created enough time for Gyrocopter to come back without having to use his buyback. So he's up now. They don't lose their Tier 3, and because of that Echo and the valiant effort from KZZ, they do take down Shredder, and it's enough to prevent them from really doing a lot of work on this top lane, rather.
That was just a smart back call from Leviathan. They knew Annihilate was going to be up here from Faces Void, so They decided not to do anything too crazy. They could have fought, but they'd have to fight in the chronosphere. They knew that it wasn't used in the last fight. Although Shibi did still have split, he also picks up his own Assault Cuirass now, but they want to play this safely. They know Roshan's up, they'll take the next objective, and they want to secure and finish this game.
Yeah.
For Swag, they've got to get something going. These team fights have to be better for them. They have to hit the chronospheres. And on top of that now, the big issue is number one, split, and number two, I think, Shredder and Reincarnation. If they can kill Shibi before he gets his split off, huge. But Shredder will be the second hero to deal with. That's going to be causing a big problem, so...
We'll see here, Leviathan playing it the safe route. They are going to get a hold of this Roche. It's about to fall here. Sleesel is nearby in the neighborhood, but unfortunately, there's just nothing they can do about it. Leviathan get what they want. They step back. It is going to be, once again, Brew who takes the Aegis. Shredder still having that second life at the ready. Has his BKB. Didn't even really get to put it to use yet. Got taken apart both times, or at least the one time without getting it off, but now has a Hyperstone here. So he's going to go right down the road of getting a Mjolnir. He just goes for the attack speed first. More crits the merrier, they like to say.
Yeah, and it goes back to that mid-fight where they were trying to take the 2-2 tower for turn my swag on. I think that's really where it went poorly, because at that point, they were only down 3,000 net worth. They were still getting farmed. They were okay. And now it's down 12,000, almost 13,000 to 14,000 net worth right now. And experience-wise, they were in the lead at that point. Now it's down to about 7,500 experience deficit. And KZZ has played a heck of a game, but they're not able to accomplish much right now because, yeah, you kill these heroes once or twice. It doesn't matter. There was an Aegis on Shibi. He has Primal Split.
Yep.
Shredder has his Reincarnation. He's got a BKB. They're impossible to deal with at this point. And F4L getting an Aghanim Scepter, I thought that would be frightening. He hasn't done anything with that item. So for Leviathan, they just need to take some okay fights, and all of a sudden they'll take the game probably.
They're staying very nicely spread here, even outside the base. They have a split push coming in from the bottom, from Jenkins, his Nature's Prophet. You know, they could get caught out easily from Shibi and Shredder, and at that point you have your Jakiro bringing in the liquid fire on the actual structures, and Nature's Prophet split pushing in. If you're Swag, you need to know what the hell you got to do here. What's the objective? Which person do you take care of? And they're really kind of caught between places as far as what's happening. They do lose the racks in the mid lane. They still have yet to make an attempt at any sort of defense. It's just Leviathan just like rotting away in their base. There's the jump on the outside. Immediate BK pop from Jenkins right now, and the Blade Mail. It's just, I like trying to right-click down this Nature's Prophet. Echo does catch two, but no big damage there from KZZ. It's going to be Shibi who quickly cleans out Sleesel. Your Chrono does come out. It catches out Jenkins and Sunken. They take down Sunken. Now they're looking to Jenkins. Gyrocopter and Annihilate, can they manage to take him down? They can. Meanwhile, on the front lines, your two big cores from Leviathan finish what they started, taking down the supports, and now they turn back for the cores to core-on-core battle. It's going to be Shredder who does take down Faceless Void. Shredder still stands. He goes down. He has the Reincarnate. Shibi is right there still, however, with an Aegis in hand and a DD rune. There's nothing you can do about it. It's Leviathan who come out big here, and now they're going to clean out the bottom set of racks, and this could very well be game for Swag.
I mean, Swag played that as probably as well as they could. They took out the heroes that didn't have, you know, Reincarnation, and they didn't have the Aegis. They took out the supports, and they took out Jenkins, but that was just really well played from Leviathan. They knew they had the timing to hit. They hit it perfectly. They take the game right when they need to before it starts getting out of control, and I got to say, turn my Swag on. Great game from them, but Leviathan have been, they're the real deal, man. I'll tell you what.
They really are, man. They really are, and a lot more Leviathan fans keep coming in. I know I'm certainly a fan, but I also do love my Swag boys. It's real unfortunate for them. They are going to fall short, currently sporting a 5-4 record. This will put them down now to 5-5, and unfortunately, that puts them in a bit of a hairy situation. Tiebreakers are slowly going to start revealing themselves, and if more of these teams possibly win, they could be out of the running. But for now, they'll hold with their even record. Leviathan, they just might have secured themselves a playoff spot. They now move up to 8-2. They are tied with Not Today, just Complexity above them both at 9-1. Things are getting real close here for the America divisions. We'll have more answers as far as how these teams will be able to progress. We have more games to come. Our second match to happen of today of 4 matches is going to be Pain Gaming tanking against Union Gaming. This game, I believe, is actually going to be of no value. Both teams are out of the running, but should be a fun match regardless. We could see a bit of clown shoes here. But for Game 1, it's been a pleasure as always. Catch myself on my Twitter at CoddleGuyMott. I know you will not be joining us for the rest of the run. I, once again, appreciate so much that you came in at last notice. Do you have any sort of last-minute shout-outs or whatever before we let you go?
Hey, absolutely. First of all, thank you for having me yet again. It's always a pleasure to join you guys for the summit and for everything else for BTS. For us, for High Ground, we have, I think going on tomorrow will be Dota Pit, which we're very excited about.
Hell yeah.
That'll start at 12 Eastern, and I believe that's Empire versus Hellraisers. I believe that's the game. We have a couple of other good games coming, especially EG versus Complexity. That'll be tomorrow as well, and F4L will be joining me for both of those series. So check that out at twitch.tv/DotaPit. For myself, you can check me out at twitter.com/MottDota. And again, yeah, it's been fun, man.
Pleasure as always, Mott. Thank you so much. You heard it from him. Where to go check out Dota Pit tomorrow, and the more action to come there. Today, we got more America Summit 2 action coming your way. Hang around, sit tight, grab a soda, grab a beverage, grab a snack, do what you got to do, but sit tight. We'll be back in just a moment.